welcome back to Dungeons and Dyslexia, live Dungeons and Dyslexia for our review of Mutant City Blue. That's not right, is it? It is.
It's Mutant City Blues.
Mutant City Blues, specifically second edition, which is
why do you have to specify that, Adrian?
Yeah, I mean, is it this one?
Yeah, are we doing it this early into the video? Are we?
May as well.
Before you. So
out of the.
Yeah. Okay, let's get it out there. So it's 2 weeks ago we were meant to be doing this, and then Pookie, Rob
cancelled.
Pookie cancelled. He was going out, and Rob wasn't very well. So Ewan and I basically had a night with ourselves.
I do apologise.
That sounds awful. Don't say that.
Yeah. I had to give in to my partner's love of 60s vintage radio comedy.
It's absolutely. So, and then we had another 2 weeks to prepare for this, and let me just show you this. So this is Mutant City Blues first edition, the book that I've been reading and reviewing for the last 4 weeks. Everyone else, rather foolishly, has been reading the second edition, which is the edition that we're set to review. Because
the edition that you sent to me and Rob.
Yes, I actually went out and bought this, and then somehow I managed to save this edition in my folder as opposed to this edition. So I've had 20 minutes to get into this. So my input is going to be the best input in the world, not just a tribute. So welcome to everyone else's review of Mutant City Blues second edition, and me with a little bit of input. Guys, do you just want to introduce yourself? Because I'm a bit of a fool this evening.
Go on then. I'll start as I look as if on the screen on the next one. So I'm Rob. I've been role playing for 30 years. I've never GM'd yet, but I am planning on GMing very soon. I role played lots of genres, so I'm here to give a more specific opinion of a actual player.
Of the correct book?
Of the correct book, yes. Okay. Yeah. I could get that right at least.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's all right.
We'll go clockwise. June.
Okay, I'm Dewan. I'm the co-creator of the Quintessence setting agnostic role-playing game. I also run the Odd Artworks YouTube channel, and recently just hit over 7,000 subscribers, which is fantastic. My zines that I did arrived the other day, and I've spent today drawing about 150 of these for the people who pre-ordered it. I got 8 left to do, and I am knackered, so I'm going to try and not let that get the better of me today.
So if you're out there, go and pre-order 1,000 of those zines.
No. Pre-order's closed. It's done. It's done. These will be on. These will be on the website soon, so you can buy them. But yeah.
Pookie.
I'm Pookie. I'm probably best known for my reviews blog, Reviews from Radio, where I have almost 3,000 reviews going back some 15, 16 years. I've been gaming 45 years now. Is it 45 years?
Wow, that's
yes.
the same age as me, Pookie.
Yeah. And I have actually read the right book.
Amazing. You bunch of kiss asses bringing the teacher the right book. So
and I point out this was my choice, so you know.
Yeah. So as ever, if you throw a comment down in between now and 9 o'clock, you will go into the draw, and you will be fighting alongside my patrons that seem to be winning. So if you want to be involved and get a guaranteed slot of $1 a month, you just join the Patreon, and you get an automatic vote for each of these that we do every month. So
do they win the first or second edition?
It's a very good point. They can have both editions. Both editions.
Wow. Big money this week.
Yeah.
Comments in now.
I don't think I've ever spent so much money on a book before that I've still never played. Should I do my first impressions? Because actually, it's probably the freshest of first impressions amongst us.
Sure, go for it.
Yeah. It was actually nice to see the version of the book with cover art. I'm going to throw this one out there because, well, actually, the one that Booty got has got cover art. But I was instantly put off by this gridded background effect.
Yep, it nearly gave me a brain hemorrhage looking at that.
I'm just going to say it's obnoxiously horrible throughout the whole thing. It is hyperlinked, and it's, I don't know what it is about the font. I'm going to say off 20 minutes of reading, I found this quite hardish to read. And this, annoyingly, without spoilers, is one of the best bits of the game, which we'll come on to. But you can't bloody read it in this edition. These are so darked out that I was and the artwork was a little bit, that was me on first impression. I was a little bit, because I was used to the first edition. I'll quickly just show the first edition. It's really nice looking.
Oh my god, that's such a better layout.
yeah. It's a beautiful layout. It's nice. It's good colours. So yeah, when I was thrown second edition by my own foolishness.
If we pause for 10 minutes, do you want us to go off and actually read through the first edition, and we'll come back and do that one?
No,
might change things.
Yeah, I mean, I have actually reviewed the first edition, so I'm vaguely familiar with it.
Oh, that's good. That's good. People are just joining now, so they won't know I've read the wrong books. We won't have to admit it again. No.
Oh, you'll cut that bit out, won't you?
Yeah, absolutely. We won't mention it again, will we?
No, we won't. So let's go down the line then. Rob, first impressions.
Well, see, I was the opposite. So the front cover being colourful sort of grabbed me. And I quite like the front cover. And I think from the front cover and the title, it straight away gives you an idea of what the book's about.
Which is what we haven't probably explained. We probably should. We're terrible at this, aren't we?
Yeah.
Let Pookie explain that as it's.
Okay. When we get to Pookie. All right. Yeah. Go now, Pookie.
Okay. So my first impressions. I don't mind the cover. And
we're explaining what the book is.
Okay. What it's about. Okay.
Yeah.
So essentially, my choice. Why did I pick this? It's a combination of two genres: the police procedural, and superheroes. Both genres that we've not talked about, and in general you'll find that superheroes is more commonly covered in role-playing than police procedurals. So what's happened in this setting essentially is that people have suffered for the most part a non-fatal flu. There's a pandemic, and some people have begun to express superheroic abilities, and the response of the society is not to go off and put on spandex and become superheroes, but it's more ordinary. People become famous or take jobs where their powers are useful. So if you're a fireman, you go and work. Basically, you might have powers which will deal with oxygen or control fire. Or if you're a healer, you go and work in the medical profession, and so on. Now, what happens is that for the police, they set up a particular department to deal with crimes against people who have expressed these altered genes, and to investigate crimes not only against them but are committed by them, because they themselves have powers to deal with it. And can you bring up the Quade diagram, please?
Quade.
Yes, you say it's the best thing in it, and it really is. So that diagram really shows you essentially the relationships between the different powers. So what happens is if you have a particular power, if you have like phasing, you might have transmutation as well, and also have a particular problem. You might get disassociated as like a psychological problem. But that's used in two ways. One is in which to buy your powers, because it's easier to buy powers within the group of those particular abilities. But it's also, you can use it as a forensic tool. So if you have somebody who you reckon is actually phasing through walls, you can pretty much work out that he's likely to have similar powers in that group, or the powers within that group. Cool.
Okay, Rob.
So the front cover grabbed me. It gives you a real good idea of what the book's about. It's hyperlinked, including the index as well. So it's really nice and easy to sort of go back and forth to different pages. And I think from reading what Puku's just said there, reading the sort of the history and the background to it, I was like, this sounds really, really good. Like, I was really looking forward to actually reading through this book. And that's where I'll stop.
Cool. Juan.
Okay, I will start by saying I really wanted to like this. Just because it is something different. And for me, doing something different in RPGs always gets a little bit more of my attention. I initially opened the book, the artwork and the design of the book. I was quite shocked to see that this came out in 2020, I think it was. Because it very much feels like a book that was written in the late 80s, early 90s, in not just kind of the artwork, which isn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's just feels very much of that kind of time. It reminds me of kind of early Cyberpunk 2020 books, that kind of thing. I struggled with that blooming check. That background did my nut in, and that really put me off to begin with. Really struggled trying to read it. But I'll go as far as I was intrigued to begin with, and some of the tone of the writing I felt was a bit kind of, I don't know, it felt like it was written by a copper or an engineer, because it was very kind of, you will do this, this is how this happens. It was, I think I prefer a book to be more of a conversation. This didn't feel like felt like I was being dictated to a little bit. But I'll leave it there, because I do have some positive things to say later on.
Yeah. Okay, so my positives are going to be quite short, because I'm quite concerned that, say, reviewing the wrong book is so that Quade Diagram.
Did you read the wrong book?
I did read the wrong book. Just in case you need to go on about it for the next 5 years.
I mean, I just want to come back to the point that somebody put out a comment there about it being a bit like Wildcards.
Yeah.
I would say not. I do know the Wildcard series very well. It's basically the Wildcard series does allow for more traditional superheroics within the setting. You do have kind of costumed heroes within the setting. With Mutant City Blues, you lean far more into the police procedural than you do into the superheroics. Okay, you know, yeah. it's more a cop show with superpowers than superheroes who are cops.
Right. Okay. Cool. So initially, so that Quade Diagram, which is in both editions, so I can comfortably talk about it. Which I really like the fact that, you know, to get to one power, you can actually see what you're going. It stops all that people just going onto Reddit or whatever and then cherry picking the best powers. You're still going to be able to do that to an aspect, but you're going to have to follow a line to go. But what it's going to do is going to give you additional powers that you didn't necessarily want, that you're going to find handy across the way. Because I think we've all played mutant games, you know, whether it be X-Men or, you know, Marvel games and things like that, where you've got really defined narrow powers, where this gives you it felt quite free, if that makes sense, into what you can do. The city stuff, and I'd say the procedural stuff was a bit, some of it's good, some of it's bad, because I was like, it's a bit too serious for me.
There's an awful lot of it as well.
If that makes sense, because I kind of want my gaming to be a bit more fun. I think, not played this, only read it-ish. I think there's going to be a lot of heavy lifting on the Games Master side to make this play the way the book's intended. I think if I ran this, we'd have quite good fun with it, but I wouldn't be running it in the way that the book's meant to be done, if that makes sense. I think I'd miss too much of it out, and I don't think you get the experience as written. But that I think that's my positive, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, this really is very much, if you think, I'm going back to the 90s, NYPD Blue, Homicide: Life on the Street. You know, this is very much cop life, and it just so happens that the cops you're playing have superpowers. And the thing is, what's interesting about that, one of the things I like, is the fact that there are legal limits on the way you can use your powers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for basically, okay, if you've got X-ray eyes, that's really difficult because essentially that means you're basically putting out radiation. So it's extremely controlled. And then things like mind reading and so on, basically entering dreams and sort of like that. Well, you've got to get consent to do that.
Yeah, yeah. But
know-
if you have got X-ray eyes, you can see through the ladies' skirts.
and give them radiation burns in the process.
Wow.
Well,
You know,
So that's tan lines as well.
swings
pros and
around a bit,
cons.
isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
You know what they're complaining about.
Again, thank you. My has been struck by lightning. So I missed out trumpet there. So thank you. Very generous. Rob.
So likes. I did like the backstory, the whole how this happened, the way it's done in the book with the timeline. I found that that was really nice and simple. Talks you through all the events that have happened and how it all happens. That was really good. We've
lost him again.
Oh,
It's gonna be one of those weeks.
Blum Swindon.
I don't know why I bothered reading second edition if he's not going to turn up.
Do you want me to say some positives?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is if I was going to run a police procedural game, this book is fantastic for that. It talks about different ways different police departments work, different departments within the police, different police departments in different countries. It's very thorough in that aspect. I quite enjoyed the backstory of the city. My main issue was I liked the procedural aspect and I liked the backstory. I just didn't like them together for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. I'll try and figure it out as we're talking. But yeah, if you were going to play, I don't know. I'm trying to think what the cyberpunk police source book was. Was it Protect and Serve?
yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
I think this would be like a really nice companion to that in a way. But yeah, the mutant stuff kind of got in the way for me. But, you know, it's a wealth of information. That's my big positive there. So much stuff. And I kind of think, because it's all based on the GUMSHOE system, isn't it?
We haven't got to the system yet. No.
Well,
yes,
I won't talk too much about that. But I kind of think I'd like to play GUMSHOE without all the mutant stuff in it.
Because
it seems interesting to me.
Yeah, there are. I mean, if you want to do that, there are multiple ways in which to do that. You've got the basically the spies and vampires.
Nice black agent.
Nice black agents. You've got science fiction. In what's it called? Altered Stars. You've got fantasy in Swords of the Serpentine. And then, of course, you've got Trail of Cthulhu and Esoterrorists for horror.
Interestingly, when you said Cthulhu, I thought this could work very well with a.
It's the GUMSHOE system originates in Trail of Cthulhu.
Oh right, okay.
Oh, basically that's the first one.
I honestly didn't know anything about the system before reading this.
That's what it was basically. The whole idea behind I'll just say this. The whole idea behind the GUMSHOE system is essentially, okay, your characters are competent. You're going to find clues. Okay, we're going to give you the basic information you need anywhere you need it. So basically, you walk into a room, you look at it, and go, okay, this is what I need to know. But if you want more information, you pay. Basically, you're basically expending points or doing a push in the more modern iterations. Anyway, back to Rob, who is now basically out of order.
Yeah, we had a power cut.
Oh shit!
Is that what it was? I was staring at you
well.
still, though, seeing whether you're still frozen.
So literally, so what you're saying is when somebody literally said put 50p in Rob, that's what he should have done.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like the timeline. I like the background. The character sheets when you get to it is nice and simple. That looks like it'll be, you know, straightforward. The Quade diagram, as you've already spoken, that's really, really good. It's such a cool way of doing it, and makes a lot of sense as well. It does make a lot of sense. And as I said when I said my sort of original briefing, the hyperlinks, the index, it's nice and easy to sort of like bounce around. but that's all I've got for liking.
Okay.
I will just add to that, Rob. That Quade diagram, if you're just looking at it on the screen, it looks crazy complicated. But when you actually sit and look at it, it's not at all. It's really straightforward.
Yeah. It's one of the great things about the game. You know, basically the fact that it's a means to help you create your character, and it's a means to, as a diagnostic tool, forensic tool in the game. And what it means in terms of creating characters, you can't. Okay, I'm going to create a character who can fly and has got claws and can fire beams out of his eyes. No, you're not. You basically you are constrained by the diagram, and if you want, to combine certain different types of powers, it becomes very expensive.
Yeah,
because they're further away genetically.
It makes you very one-dimensional, then, doesn't it?
It kind of
do that.
Yeah. You basically you can either specialize quite strongly in a particular one particular ability, or you're so spread out.
I think for me it kind of felt like, a lot of us probably grew up watching and reading X-Men comics, where if you think about traditional X-Men, they pretty much only ever had 1 or 2 mutations. Yeah, so then they could have like a whole team of different things. It kind of feels like that it's going to take you through additional powers that you're going to get, but you're going to have to go through a chunk of things you don't necessarily want, but you're going to have fun discovering what you can do with it.
Yeah,
because you can't be Colossus that can do fireballs. You could. It's going to be very difficult, but obviously being Colossus and being taller and stuff, it will guide you through that route to make that the cheapest route for you, really.
Yeah. So my positives, I love the combination of the 2 genres. Okay. And I love the Quade diagram, as I've already said. And the background is great, because what's great, why it's great is because it's a good background, but it's generic in the sense that it's got a timeline, but it's not geographically specific. So the whole point about this is you could take that background and drop it onto a city of your choice. Okay, it's generally the feel of the city itself is sort of like vaguely North American, so it could be Toronto, it could be Chicago, something like that. But there's nothing to stop you taking it and using it in London or Stockholm, depending upon where you want to set your game. The other good points that I really like is it does, because it's a police procedural, it does an A and a B story. Okay, so you've got the main plot, the A story of you going out and investigating the crimes and so on, and working with your fellow officers, doing the interviews, perhaps having a gunfight, giving a car chase, battling against the superheroic criminal who's conducted, who's committed the crime. But you've got that B plot, which will be something going on, whether you may have a difficulty, at the office, as it were, or you've got a problem at home which needs to be dealt with at the same time as all this is going on. So you've got sort of like a double strand of, professional life and then personal life basically interacting with each other unnecessarily. And the whole thing with the B plot, it doesn't necessarily happen to have to happen every episode or every story. It can run over the course of a campaign.
So I have got one thing.
Yes.
Toronto is in Canada, not Northern America. I like to pick fault with you every now and again. That's
okay. That's fine. Okay, I'm so sorry. What I didn't say was the North American continent.
I know, but I read the wrong edition, and you keep bringing it up. So I'm just.
That's fine. It's not. I mean, Sorry. Did you? Sorry, Adrian. Did you just say you read the wrong edition?
I did again. I did again.
I think you've brought it up more times than us now.
I know. Yeah. I know. My wife's filing for divorce now.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing is, did you get her to read the right edition then?
She wouldn't read any edition. It's all being burnt when I'm dead. So.
A Viking burial.
Yeah.
I'll keep the rats warm.
Yeah. See, they might get toxic poisoning from my plastic bins burning.
Yeah. Is that all 5 of them? Is she not
Yeah.
going to keep any of the bins?
Wow. That is a king's burial, that one, isn't it?
Yeah. I had someone come round and they've actually discovered, obviously, because I've got the big bins as well, so I haven't even got the thinner ones. So So
Lord of the Bins.
Lord of the Bins. See, I think my biggest problem with this, and I don't even understand why. Because I like mutations and mutant and superhero type stuff, but I kind of prefer the bad guys than the good guys. Yes, it can play the other way around, but the game doesn't want you to necessarily. Oh yeah, Andrew's already I've only got 4. He's coming to live in one of my bins, so he's got to feed the rats. Though he's got to feed the rats. I don't know what it was. Mutant Cops just doesn't resonate with me. So then I did a bit more research, and I looked at Knights Black Agents. That sounds, I think, perfect. And I didn't realize the Cthulhu one on there. The no lying rule I was a little bit. So there's no skill for lying in the book.
Ooh, that's a nice colour.
It is. Did you catch that one? The no lying bit.
Yeah.
In there. So it's the one bit that it's like that charisma check bit where some people expect the players to actually role play charisma, like Shadow Dark, and other games will allow you to just roll it. You don't have to say anything. 5th edition, for argument's sake. And you're going to need the right group, I think, for this. Well, you need the right games master and the right group to get the best out of this. Because I find it weird, the whole idea of you just automatically find whatever's needed, and then it's up to you how many, what you want to interact with it. But when there is a dice roll, you get 1d6, which is only got. No, it needs to be. I think it needs to be a larger array of numbers in there.
GUMSHOE doesn't do that.
No, I know. But that's what I'm saying. This is why I don't like it, if that makes sense. Because I kind of want, even if it was just a D10 or roll a couple of dice.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, here's the thing. I'm sorry. The thing is, okay, it's not just a case of you just rolling the die and leaving it at that. You are spending points from a pool to adjust that number. So this is not a year 0 game. You do have, ways to adjust the results.
The dice, yeah.
Wow. Just 1 week without talking about it. Just 1 week.
Yeah, because the difficulty goes for if 2nd edition's the same as 1st edition, it's between 2 to 8. That seems to be the difficulty to pass. But see, I don't understand why it just hasn't jumped out at me. And I think it's definitely the 1st edition is so much beautifuler than the second. I know that's not English, but I was really surprised.
When you showed us those pages, that genuinely shocked me because
it looks like
the 2nd edition just looks like such a dated book.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in a bad way. It's just a very specific design of a very specific kind of time period in RPGs.
Yeah, it's 2020 as well. So 2008 was the first book. This one's 2020, which is strange. But yeah, I'm out. That's all I've got. So good and bad, unfortunately. Rob, what you got? 50p in your meter?
Yeah. So where I said I liked the front cover with the color artwork, I was disappointed then to find that all the way throughout the rest of the book there's no color artwork. It was just black and white. So I found that a little bit then, it was a bit boring. Once you opened the cover, it was a bit boring.
Yeah, the art's used quite sparingly as well.
It is, yeah. And I think that unless you're really into this genre, I think it comes across as being really complicated. I think the GM would have to be either really do their homework on this or be really into it, or be experienced enough, like you said, Aid, where you just pick the bits you want to use. It's probably a bit easier to go in there as a player and just play it. So from a player side, this sounds really, really cool. But overall, to GM it as well and run it, it seems it's really, really complicated. And the other, based on what you just said as well, as I like rolling dice. It's one thing I like doing about role playing. So the lack of rolling dice is, I wouldn't like that. And and in the end, it just bored me. I was so excited when I first looked at it and flicked through it and saw the Quade diagram, and I thought, oh, this sounds really interesting. But once I started reading it and I saw how much was in there, I just got bored.
So that's quite shocking, because when Pookie described the book, you were the one out of the three of us, as in you and you and I, that was the most excited about reviewing this, weren't you?
It sounds really, really cool.
Yeah,
and the history, the backstory is really, really good. But once you start getting into it, I think there's so much in there. I just got lost. And I lost interest.
Wrong system, wrong game, or right system, wrong world?
I think it's a little bit like you. I prefer the mutant superhero side to it. The actual police investigation side of it, I find that is something that I don't overly enjoy.
Yeah.
And I think that would just distract too much for me.
We're going to Ewan, I think, then. Then we'll end on Pookie, which will be a very small list of.
I would agree with Rob. It starts off, it does a good job of kind of explaining what it is, but I feel like it's very much. I think Pookie said it earlier. It's very much a police procedural game. And I feel like there's way more, it felt like to me anyway, there's way more of that. And then the mutant stuff kind of comes in. And I would genuinely like to play this as two separate games. I'd love the mutant aspect to maybe be almost post-apocalyptic and play it that way without the cop aspect of it. And just that chart of generating characters and trying to work out what powers NPCs would have based on that chart is also a brilliant thing. And then I'd like to play a game with just the cop aspect. But my main issue is I struggle to see how you could do this as a one-shot. I mean, it does lend itself very well to campaign play. But if I was just wanting to try this with a group, I just don't see. I think it's a lot of work, and it's a niche kind of thing. Everybody's kind of got to be on board for it. And I found the writing just irritated me. Parts of it felt like it was written by an engineer, so it was overly explaining some stuff and not explaining other stuff particularly well. And then the way the rules were written, it was very much like I was being told this is how it is, rather than, hey, you could do this or you could do that.
I've got to bring up, there's a bit in the book, I don't know whether it's in the second edition, it's in the first. And
is it the periodic table bit?
No, it's the bit that says every other game has been doing investigation wrong. Smuggy smug.
Yeah, that's the thing.
We know how to do this better. And I read that.
Hold on. That's the whole point of the GUMSHOE system.
Yeah. No, but what I think what Ewan's saying is the way it's written. They're writing. Once you carry on reading it, they're writing their explanation that if you fail an investigation roll, it can completely stop the game and etc. But the initial sentence just felt quite. It just kind of shoved me the wrong way, if that makes sense.
I think one of the first things that got my back up, I think it was when they were talking about the Quade table, about saying how it's not an overestimation to say that most people have read this book, have memorized the periodic table. And I thought, oh, okay, that's a bit of an assumption. And I thought, okay, maybe this book isn't aimed at somebody like me. I thought it just kind of bothered me a little bit. And I felt that kind of tone all the way through it a little bit. But like I said, when I read kind of the procedural stuff, it was great to have all that information. There is an awful lot of it. But if I was going to play a police procedural game, this would probably be a version of it I would do. But yeah, ultimately, I felt like the two things didn't really mash together for me. That was the problem. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, so no bad from Pookie, I guess.
I'm not going to go. I really don't have any grumbles. I've actually played this and enjoyed it, and it was a one shot. And primarily, it didn't focus upon the B aspect of the storyline. It was about the investigation, and it really essentially. The whole thing, what it comes down to is that your superpowers really are basically, as I say, another string to your bow in the investigative process, because you've got they are divided into two things. You've got general powers, which you can use for, various purposes, as you would any other superpower. But there are specific powers in there which are described as investigative and designed to help you perform the actual investigation, and the same with your skills. I can't really think of any problems, any issues I have with the game. Yes, I think the layout probably that background is a little annoying. You've got to your eyes have got to adjust to it, and I could grumble that sort of like, yes, it would have been nice if it had been in color. The more recent books from the publisher, like this one, which is also GUMSHOE and it's fantasy. I mean, I'm just going to show you the map. Yeah, that's in color.
Yeah.
Okay. And then basically, I only have this out because I'm actually planning to review it.
That's because you say nice things about their books. That's why they send you their books.
I don't always say nice things about their books, but I'm generally positive about most people's books.
Yeah.
I will be honest, because essentially, I primarily look for the positive if I can. Yeah. Okay. I appreciate this. Obviously, not in everybody's sort of favorite combination. I think that's my downside. That's my primary downside is you guys going, ooh. I don't think the two combinations work.
Do you know what? It's a good point, that, Pookie, because I think when I was reading it, I was thinking how, if I was going to play this, and I think about the people I play RPGs with, there's no way I could convince them to play it because it is quite niche.
Yeah,
that's the biggest. You're right. That is a problem, but I don't know how to overcome it.
Well, I mean, I think
get more friends, I suppose.
If you are, I mean, I think the thing is, if you already play GUMSHOE games, then it's not going to be a problem.
Yeah.
If you are looking, I think primarily, I don't think you're going to go, oh, I need a police procedural game. What you're going to do is go, oh, I want a superhero game. You're looking for something different, and then yes, you come across this. Because essentially, you do actually have, there are superhero stories out there, like I think it's Top 10. Is one series where it's all about essentially superheroes as cops, and I think basically I think it's like sort of like quite a lot of other role-playing games. You do kind of need a level of buy-in. But if you're experienced in running the GUMSHOE, I don't think it's going to be an issue.
Yeah, I love the idea of players not needing to roll to achieve stuff, but I'm not sure how invested I would be in it because I personally hate investigation games and I hate running them. That's a very personal preference, which is why when the Knights Black Agents Humble Bundle came up, I threw something out in a Discord saying, never heard of the system, and then a few people started explaining it to me, and I went, oh, I don't know. But now I think I'd like to play it. I want to try this game out.
Yeah.
Because it's got me intrigued. I don't want to run it. I want to play it. Someone that knows what they're doing, they can implement it well, but I want a different theme. And if that's vampire hunting type people, I'm on for that.
Yeah. The thing is,
if it's Cthulhu, I'm on for that.
Yeah. Knights Black Agents is vampires and spies.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Okay, the combination is essentially you are all kind of ex-spies who've discovered that there is a conspiracy, whether your agency or other bodies and so on have been controlled by vampires, and you basically go try and take it down. There's some really good campaigns for it.
Who thinks he should have picked that one?
You know what? I charge. One of you could pick it.
Yeah. Just going back to something you said, Adrian, I kind of have the opposite thing. I quite like investigation games, and I kind of like interesting kind of mechanics that maybe don't involve dice rolling. But I'll be honest, I've played a few superhero games, and I don't think I've had a particularly positive experience with any of them.
Yeah. See,
so that's I've got the reverse problem.
Yeah, the one investigation game I really like is Blade Runner, because Free League we want about Free League again, and it's probably one of the best sort of free year zero engines out there.
It's not, and the thing is, I would argue that it's not really year zero.
Okay, we'll agree to agree. So
thank you.
Yeah, but it's it's the fact that they give you the handouts, so you're looking yourself trying to find stuff. You're not really doing dice rolls or stuff because it's so well put together. Well, everything Free League does. The production quality is just through the roof. All my aliens has been dispatched. The whole of the new Alien books have been dispatched, so they should be here.
Fingers crossed. I've just put in for review copies.
So yeah.
Wow. Is that the new editions?
Yes, that's the new edition.
Yeah, all 3 books.
Yeah.
And someone went, it's Year Zero engine, don't you? I think it was Brit that said it. And I was like, oh yeah. But this is lots of dice, so that should be fun. So
you hope.
Actually, I've had the PDF for a while, so
that's okay.
But,
you know that.
But it was splattered all over it. You're not allowed to put this on your YouTube channel, basically, because we'll come down and murder you. So it's I think is it theme wise for everyone? That seems to be the stumble.
Well, not everyone.
Well, not everyone.
It's the mash of the two, I think. That's
do you know what? I'm going to review I'm going to put something up for review that I really hate one week, just so I can go, and I didn't like it either.
I mean, the thing is, you're going to have to. I mean, to be honest, given what I've reviewed so far, you're going to have to work hard to find something that I absolutely hate.
Yeah.
There's a challenge for you.
Yeah.
Oh, I just think West End games Star Wars.
I knew you were going to say that.
The thing is, I don't hate West End game Star Wars.
Is there a game you've reviewed that you do hate, though, Pookie?
Oh, God, probably. But I mean, I'm trying to remember one. God. Semper Bufo. It's reviews from Rillier.
That's the bit I can never remember.
That's right.
And I can't spell reviews either.
Wait till you get to Rillier.
Yeah.
No, it pops it up.
Yeah.
Because I've already been on your site.
Yeah.
I can just share it down in here. So I remember. Where's that gone?
Oh, somebody's just said about the TMNT game. Yeah. I know a lot of people who've made the mistake of backing that one.
It's interesting. I've actually just pulled out my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles books.
The Strangeness. I've still got mine too. They're actually really nice books for a Palladium book. Anyway, they're quite nice.
They're
books.
really accessible, and the thing is, the first one is 112 pages. I'm pulling it out because I'm making it my 3,000th review.
Wow. Do you know what? So much artwork in there, and all by Eastman and what's his name? Laird. That's it. Yeah. So much artwork, and it's such a good book.
And it's everything in there. I'm looking at going, this is so simple and playable in comparison. It's 1985, and then sort of like, I don't know, what is it? At 6 years later, we get Rifts. Rifts
ruined everything for Palladium. Absolutely everything. Like, did you ever look at Beyond the Supernatural?
Vaguely.
That's got a similar system to TMNT. It's good.
Yeah, a lot of people have been moaning about the new version of TMT. I actually sold my original copies of it about 4 weeks before the Kickstarter was announced.
Well, this is the thing I was really confused about. Are they just redoing it with new artwork? Is it the same game?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but because Palladium still haven't done that spaceship game that they were meant to have released,
they're a bit rubbish with their Kickstarter.
Everyone was like, let's avoid this, and I was like, do you know what, I've just had that and I've just sold it, and I instantly I stick it on eBay and I instantly add Salah's regret, but because you just clear stuff out. I say normal people clear stuff out. Pookie, no, he's got 8 rooms in his house that look like behind him.
I mean, the thing is, no, not quite. I don't think there aren't any role-playing books in the kitchen or in the bathroom.
Okay, none of that would fit in my bins though. I'd still have room in my bins.
So moving
got no books in your bathroom?
No,
you don't read in the toilet.
Yeah, I take the book with me.
Oh, okay. You just don't leave it there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
To go damp and mouldy.
Yeah, and they get little bits of poo in the page. Okay.
Well, that's Jesus. I don't know what you. I don't want any of your books.
I just flick it around like a chimp.
Explosive diarrhea by the sounds of it.
Yeah. I can't be bothered to clean. What's the point cleaning? So, right, rules etc. are the same as Troy's saying.
Oh, is this the Turtles game?
Yeah. Anyway, we are talking about TMNT, but we should really be finishing talking about Mutant City Blues, I suppose.
Yeah. Of which version do we want? So run us through the version again. Well, actually, because has anyone got anything else that is nice about it?
I agree with Rob. It had a very simple, easy to understand character sheet, which was refreshing. I was expecting this thing to be an absolute monstrosity when I got to the back of that book.
I've got to agree. You do think that for the rest of the book, you get to the character sheet, it's going to be really complicated, but it's not. It's really nice.
It's all right, Troy. We don't mind because I think Pookie's fed up of us bashing on his book.
Look, the thing is, okay, I had high hopes for it, thinking it's not a year zero book. It's not a year zero book.
Do you know, I did too. I thought these are two genres we've not looked at them before. It's something very different, but
I mean, I'd like to play it. I'd
certainly give it a try.
I do get the feeling that it would be a bit complicated.
I don't think it's. I mean, I played it and it wasn't complex from what I remember. It was a few years ago. You just go, okay, I'm a cop, but I've got these powers, but I'm kind of limited in how I can use them. So that legally, and that sets up a challenge.
So here's my question. This is the bit that I kind of was interested to throw at you, someone that's played this, because to me, if there's no consequence because you can't fail. Because you're always going to. Is it even really a game, or is it just a string of railroads that the game's master goes?
It's not a railroad because essentially, you've got a clue map to follow that you don't know about. But the point is, it's how you interpret the clues. That's the point. Okay?
So if the players are still idiots, it's still not going to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, the thing is, okay. Look, the point is, hold on. I mean, the whole point about the GUMSHOE system, it's predicated on the fact that your characters are competent. Okay, you as a player might not know where to look for a particular clue, or search a room, but your character will do. Okay, because they are experienced in their field. The thing is, where they're going to fail, if they fail, okay, is in the choices they make in play, i.e. on the basis of those clues, they misinterpret them. And then when it comes to the actual action where you're rolling the dice, okay, and you can fail a roll just in any other role-playing game. Yeah. So, I mean, and that applies to all of the role-playing games from using the GUMSHOE system. Whether that's the science fiction of Ash and Stars, the time travel game Time Watch, Vampires and Spies of Night's Black Agents, or the fantasy of Swords of the Serpentine. Yeah.
So I think I'd like Pookie to run this, and we just pick. See now, this is your game. If you're not comfortable or happy running it, you're not allowed to pick it.
It's not my game. I have experienced it, and God, I'd have to sit down and study the game. I don't have time to do that.
Actually, that's actually quite talent. So it's not something you'd like to run.
It's not. Okay, look. Here's the point. It's not something I wouldn't. It's not a case of not wanting to run it. It's having time. Yeah. To be fair,
and I think that's probably what's putting the other three of us off, is the fact that it's going to be a hell of a commitment, especially if that first session goes badly and players go, "No, I'm out."
Yeah. I think ultimately it's the commitment as such is making the adjustment to a style of game you're not used to.
Yeah.
Okay, more than more than anything else, because it's a game where you have rules that allow you to do things without rolling dice. For a big aspect for the game, there's a lot of kind of like procedural elements because you are cops, and you've got the elements of sort of running the A and the B story and so on. So it's different, so it's making that adjustment. And it's, to be fair, I mean, it's not as big an adjustment. I think there are a couple in the hobby where you kind of go, if you look at something like Amber, which came out in 1990, which was the first diceless role-playing game, you're going to go, how the hell does that work? And then you move on to sort of like 10 years later into the noughties, where you've got the storytelling games like Fiasco, you know, where hold on a minute, what am I supposed to be doing in this? Where you really do have to make an adjustment on how you think and play.
I really like Fiasco.
I love Fiasco.
Yeah, I didn't overly like Amber, and I think possibly we weren't ready for it. I'd have been probably 17. I hadn't been role playing more than a year or two when someone who wants to play a diceless game. We were like, yeah, we do, and then within minutes we were like, can we just roll the dice now? You know?
Yeah.
So that was the game. There was 4 stats, wasn't there? I think it was like strength, Warcraft, intelligence, and
it's
stamina or something.
It's strength, Warcraft, endurance, and psyche.
Yeah.
Sorry, I reviewed it a few years ago, so I had to reread it again. So and if you're a fan of the books by Roger Zelazny, go pick it up. It's great.
Yeah, it's one of those that, again, kind of tempted to go back, but I wouldn't want to run it. I wouldn't mind if someone else, and I could play in it. But I think there's just so many other things I'd rather do. He keeps doing this, Andrew, all the time. I go, do Baron Munchausen. I'm sure he's mentioned that several times.
Yeah, I have. And both of those are kind of more storytelling games. In particular, Baron Munchausen is a role-playing game about telling. It's not really. It's not as such a role-playing game per se, but it's a game of competitive storytelling, a la The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. If you've seen the film,
I love that film.
I don't think I've ever watched it.
Oh, sorry. Okay, your task between now and the next time we meet is go and watch that film. It's terrific.
I remember
huge fun.
I remember seeing that film in the cinema when I was about 9 years old, and literally the cinema was full when we went in, and by about 2/3 of the movie, we were the only ones in there.
You're not selling it to me.
No.
It honestly, bombed hard, but it is such a good film.
Honestly, I went to see it. I went to see it as well. Not when I was 9 years old, and I loved the hell out of it.
Yeah, brilliant.
It's glorious fun.
See, we had a similar experience years ago when we were kids. Used to stay up late to watch the Tyson fights, because we were all at college. And were you there that one time at Greg's, Rob?
Yeah,
where we went to the cinema. And Alex and I went to see a film that no one had heard of called Train Spotting, and they went, "We're not watching this. We're going to watch." They all went to watch Get Shorty, and
wow!
And Alex and I were in the cinema. There was us, 2 other blatant skagheads, sat right at the front, and we came out and we went, "That's the best film we've ever seen." And everyone was taking the mick out of us, going, "No one's ever going to, be talking about that. Get Shorty is going to be the film of the year."
Yeah.
Didn't quite work out that way, did it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit like me and my friend going to see Starship Troopers. Yeah, and there was I don't know, about 6 people in the auditorium, and we were the ones who were laughing our heads off.
We did that with Train Spotting, right up to the point where the kid dies, and then the film just takes this horrible dark turn, doesn't it? I haven't watched that for ages. I've watched the did you watch the second one?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Anyway, again, we seem to be deviating.
We got sidetracked. Well, we try not to be horrible about your book anymore.
I don't care because I think I think that
we don't want to play it. You don't want to play it. You've already said that. So
no, I do want to. I'd play it again if someone ran it.
Yeah.
I don't want to run it. That's the thing. The thing is, I mean, the other thing when I say I don't want to run it is that I'm more of a natural player than a GM. Yeah.
No, I actually prefer running games than playing.
But you've got to run stuff that you like, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's interesting. That's the thing. Yeah. So that's what the downside to this is you've got to find someone that wants to run this. And I think if you find someone that's really into it and knows the rules and knows the whole backstory really well, it would probably be really, really good.
But I mean, the rules themselves are not that complex.
No. So basically, Steve Guttenberg and the rest of the Police Academy people, you can just get them in.
A Police Academy spin on this game would be amazing.
Yeah.
With the mutant powers. Oh, I'm so in for that. Somebody make that game, please.
Shoot me now. Shoot me now.
You know what? Weirdly, me and a mate of mine, we watched Police Academy for the first time, and I don't know how many years. And in my head, it was kind of a nice family film. There's so much sex in that film. It's unbelievable.
The first one, definitely.
in my head, I remember watching this when I was a kid. You know, it's like
was it Kim Cattrall in the first one? Or did she make?
I think she is in the first one. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is another fantastic tangent.
Yeah.
Right, we are at 9 o'clock. We'll
We got
lock
there.
the comments in. Right, how many down thumbs are we going to get for this one? Right, votes, guys. Ready?
So I've got one thumb for the game, one thumb for you.
Okay.
All of you.
All of
Wow.
us. Okay.
I wonder which one we're going to get.
Yeah. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
One for the game, one for you lot.
Yeah. I think that's the worst result we've ever seen on the channel. I think. So thanks everyone. Dewan, Pookie, Rob, thanks for your time as ever and laughs.
Cheers, everyone.